Without further ado, I will introduce our first Fireside Chat of the day. This Fireside Chat is a Hong Kong Fireside Chat, and it will be moderated by Thomas Schecker, the co-founder and managing partner at iScale Group. He also is a part of the Wolf Summit team, so you probably met him around on the venue. The further introduction of the fellow panelist will be done by Thomas, and Thomas, the stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to this Fireside Chat, which is dedicated specifically for exploring the boundless opportunities for innovation, funding, and scaling up in Asia. My name is Tamás Sekér. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of iScale Group, and today I have the privilege of hosting a really amazing guest here, Wing-Hing Chung, who is the head of investment promotion of Invest Hong Kong in Berlin, and who will share really exciting insights with us with regard to Hong Kong as an innovation hub and why it could be super attractive for European startups and SMEs. Wing, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Let me just give a quick introduction to the audience about your background and also about your career. Wing was born in Hong Kong, and he was raised in Germany when he actually gained his PhD with a dissertation on international joint ventures. He then moved to Hong Kong, and he worked for 15 years at a garment trading and manufacturing company, and at the same time, he also spent several years as a guest lecturer for German and Chinese business relations at the Baptist University in Hong Kong. He then moved back to Germany in 2012, where he was appointed as a head of investment promotion at Invest Hong Kong in Berlin, and he's basically responsible for attracting foreign direct investments from 8 European countries, more precisely from the DACH region, from the V4 countries, Visegrad 4 countries, and also from Slovenia. So, Wing, again, a pleasure to have you here today. And, you know, learning more about your career, and we also had an initial chat in the previous days, I think it's really fascinating that you've gained experience in 2 different continents, in Germany and Hong Kong. How has this experience influenced your perspectives and impacted you in a way to really focus on fostering innovation and international collaborations between Europe and Asia?
Thank you very much to Wolf Summit. Thank you very much, Tamás. Thank you very much to all the great organization here in beautiful Wrocław. And I'm very, very happy to be here with my team from Invest Hong Kong at the Wolf Summit. And it's really exciting to be in Poland again. Invest Hong Kong, we just love coming to Poland. And I think what you just said is really important, that after your introduction, I carry 2 cultural identity in my heart. Yeah, I was born in Hong Kong. I moved to Germany at the age of 3. I grew up in Germany. I enjoyed all the education in Germany, but then I went back to Hong Kong and worked there. And it is just so important for nowadays to really embrace the development of globalization. Yeah, I mean, when I first, for instance, went to China in the 70s, it was a totally different world. Yeah, China was closed and just opened up in '76, and then we saw the tremendous development, which actually started with the economic opening of China, and since 1984, and we saw how important it was to bring in, for instance, know-how and technology from Western Europe at that time to China to develop the business there. But always I had the value in my heart that even if you bring in technology from the West to the East, you have to always respect your business partner. You have to learn from your business partner. You have to learn what's happening in China or any other part of the world, and really understand your partner, your business partner. He's not an opponent. You try to always figure out how to find a common ground, a win-win situation, because in the end, we always say you will see yourself, your partner and yourself 2 times in life, yeah? And then it's never only a one-way street where you will win, but you always have to think, if you do business with another country, another economic system, you have to think, oh yeah, how can I understand the needs of those people there? What are they lacking? What can I bring to the table? And what can they bring to the table? And how can we create a common ground and develop something really beautiful? And that was just the beginning. And then nowadays, it is so, yeah, I could say it is just so normal for us to source from China nearly every garment, every technology gadget, every phone, every computer what we are using nowadays is made in China. But at the beginning, it was really difficult to do that, right? And what I always say is that you were able, with humility, with an open heart, an open mind, to develop a world-class product in a really, at that time, you could say, a less developed country. And now you see, now we're writing the year of 2023, and China is soon to take over the United States as the strongest economic power in the world. And I was just very privileged and honored to be part and to be to witness a little part of this phenomenal development.
This sounds really amazing, and also to exchange knowledge and know-how between, you know, the continents, Western ecosystems and also Eastern ecosystems. You mentioned China, and you know, like what I've seen also in the recent years, like Hong Kong, more precisely, is the recent developments there, the reputation recognition with regard to innovation, with regard to being a financial hub, a financial center in Asia. What do you think what is the kind of like the role that Hong Kong is playing in China and also for China? And what have been those kind of recent developments and initiatives that contributed to this big reputation of Hong Kong?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is my birth city, really my hometown, and Hong Kong played an integral part in the development of China. And as you all know, Hong Kong was a British colony for over 100 years until 1997. And in 1984, when China opened up, the first foreign direct investment into China happened through Hong Kong. Not only by Hong Kong Chinese people, but by business people from all around the world, yeah? Whether they are from Asia, from India, from Taiwan, from Japan, or from Europe, or from the United States, they were all going via Hong Kong, because Hong Kong gave them, at that time, a very safe option, yeah? Because Hong Kong, the British government in Hong Kong introduced a very stable rule of law, a very attractive taxation system, a very good IP protection, yeah? And everything was in English, or everything is still in English. So you could, at that time, and still nowadays, you could say you were in China, in Hong Kong, but you didn't need to speak Chinese, you didn't need to understand Chinese at that time. It was like we would say, a very easy start in Asia, Hong Kong. And that role has changed, of course, yeah, but you have to understand the history of it, that from the 80s onward, Hong Kong became the 3rd largest financial center in the world, after London and New York, yeah? Imagine that. Hong Kong is a tiny city, yeah? It's 1,000 square kilometers big, has 7 million people, and it became the third largest financial center because it had very good regulation, very transparent regulation, a very fair market system. At that time, we could call it the laissez-faire market system. And then everyone had a chance to come to Hong Kong, whether you were big or small. And nowadays we call Hong Kong home to the largest enterprises of the world. 70 of the 100 largest banks are in Hong Kong, and a lot of global multinational enterprises have their regional headquarters, their Asian headquarters in Hong Kong. And so we had the development of the financial center in Hong Kong, and that has, of course, also created a little bit of a lopsided economy in Hong Kong. So two or three pillars of Hong Kong, we always say, economic pillars, which are financial industry, the property sector, and the logistics played a huge role in Hong Kong's development because it was the gateway to China. And then in the 80s, you can say Hong Kong's GDP was a quarter, 25% of whole of China. 25%. Nowadays we say, oh, it's only 3%. But it's not because Hong Kong's role has shrunk, but because China has developed so tremendously, and that is now that Hong Kong has to reinvent itself. There were financial crises in Hong Kong. Maybe the older people here, guests here in the room can remember the Asian financial crisis happened in 1997, 1998, just after the handover of Hong Kong back to China. And then we had the Lehman crisis in 2008. And what happened then, a lot of jobs in the financial industry were lost. And so Hong Kong government now prides itself in trying to diversify the economy and then really also attracting innovative companies to Hong Kong. Not only to do sales and development in Hong Kong, but also to do research. Research in Hong Kong, employing young people from our top universities in Hong Kong, and also bringing in talent from overseas, bringing in talent from Poland, from Hungary. I see so many great talent here in Poland at top universities, and they are all welcome to join and come in Hong Kong, work in Hong Kong, develop their business there in Hong Kong, and expand or use Hong Kong as a landing pad for the Asian operation. Because what I think is, if you miss Asia, you will miss half of the world's population with your product or your services, and sometimes you don't even know what your competitor is up to. And that's why I think I recommend to every innovative company who has a scalable product and scalable services to consider going to Asia and consider going, at least observe the market developments there, and consider to come to Hong Kong.
Well, you mentioned a lot of exciting things that I believe that could be super relevant for companies. You mentioned the regulatory environment, right? You mentioned also the legal system. You mentioned also a bit about the IP and also about the taxation. Can you elaborate a bit more on this? Because I think these are really exciting topics. And of course, a company, European company looking to expand to Asia would also like to find attractive destinations, business destinations, right? So what can we know about the legal system? What can we know about the taxation? And why Hong Kong is so attractive for companies?
Yeah, so Hong Kong, we could always say, has the British common law system. So IP protection is paramount in Hong Kong. IP protection and the rule of law, your contract is paramount in Hong Kong. And so whatever contract you write in Hong Kong, it will be in English and will be honored by the courts in Hong Kong. Hong Kong has developed into the largest arbitration center also in Asia. And of course, and then if you go to looking for finance at the banks, they will provide you with a very good legal structure on how to finance your business, or even if you just do business with Asian suppliers, just simple old contracts like a letter of credit, yeah, or factoring, yeah. This is all possible and very efficient in Hong Kong. Yeah, when I was doing business there, we were using a lot of letter of credits to use and to deal with Asian suppliers around the region, and that has developed also. And this is my recommendation to companies who enter Asia, is to watch out for your IP. You are developing really new ideas, you are developing new products, new services, and we have excellent lawyers in Hong Kong who could patent your ideas, who can protect your trademark, who can protect your brand before you go to Asia. Yeah, this is also a very important recommendation. Yeah, because you heard of many stories about people or companies suffering from copycats. Yeah, and if you go via Hong Kong and are willing to spend the extra time and also the amount of money to protect your IP, protect your trademark, you will be safe. Yeah, you will be safe. It doesn't mean that you will never be copied, but sometimes, but if you get into legal trouble, you have excellent enforcement mechanism in Hong Kong. And on top of that, we have a very attractive taxation system. It just starts of profit tax, just starts at 8.25% on the first 2 million Hong Kong dollars profit, which is generated in Hong Kong. Yeah, so it's not a global taxation system. It is 2 million Hong Kong dollars profit is about 220,000 euros profit, and then it jumps up to 16.5% flat tax for the remaining profit you are generating in Hong Kong. And the personal income tax rate is flat at 15% in Hong Kong, so it's a very attractive taxation system. That's why a lot of wealthy businessmen have chosen Hong Kong as their destination, as their home, yeah, from Europe. Yeah, we see a lot of Germans, a lot of French people. I hope I will see more Polish and Hungarian people in Hong Kong enjoying the good life in Hong Kong, but also the very attractive taxation system in Hong Kong. And then, what Hong Kong also, or what is standing out in Hong Kong is that it is a duty-free port. Every product you import into Hong Kong you don't need to pay duty. You don't need to pay VAT. The importation procedure is so super simple. You cannot imagine that. Yeah, and just one example: we in Hong Kong slashed the wine duty I think in 2003, and Hong Kong has suddenly overtaken London as the largest wine trading hub in the world. Yeah, largest wine trading hub in the world. Now Hong Kong has is an auction center. We will hear from that later. Please join us for our workshop later at 10 o'clock, led by my dear colleague Gregory Rall, about the creative industry, with Sotheby's in Hong Kong, Christie's in Hong Kong. Philips has a new auction house in Hong Kong. So art is also being treated as not only as a really a nice addition to your home and for collectors, but also as an investment. And why? Because it's VAT free. It's duty free, your importation. You can import technology from Poland, from Europe to Hong Kong, duty free. Sell it VAT free. The regulation is very simple for many, many products. like medical technology products from Europe, if they have a CE mark from Europe, you can use them immediately in any hospital in Hong Kong. This is fantastic. For instance, if people ask me, what do we do if I have to go to China? Then very often the regulation, the procedure to sell your medical technology in China will take around 1 to 2 years in the application process. In Hong Kong, you can test out the market, you can immediately sell your product to hospitals and let them use it there first, and use it as a showcase for Chinese hospitals, for instance. Yeah, if we are in the so Hong Kong is also a showcase for the whole Asian market. Yeah, we always say if you have a global brand and you want to enter Asia, you have to come to Hong Kong first, because if you make it in Hong Kong, you can make it in Asia. Yeah, because Hong Kong has such a diverse population and a diverse consumer base. Yeah, people within Asia love to come to Hong Kong. We had pre-COVID 50 million guests and tourists coming to Hong Kong as a shopping paradise. And one other fact I can share with you is, for instance, Hong Kong's is the largest trading hub for Swiss luxury brands. Yeah, Swiss luxury watches are more. The turnover of Swiss luxury brands and watches is higher than in Switzerland. Yeah, and you will have no fakes in Hong Kong. If you go to Hong Kong, buy something from a very famous Swiss brand or Italian brand or whatever brand, you will have always the original one, no fakes. There's a strict no fake policy enforced in Hong Kong, and that made Hong Kong one of the top destinations for shopping in Asia.
Sounds amazing. And as far as I know, there is also no tax on capital gain and also on dividend, which is also something that could be interesting. Okay, let's talk a bit about funding, because Hong Kong has gained a big reputation as a big international hub and the financial center in Asia and also globally. How is it contributing to the availability of funding opportunities for startups and SMEs, including public funding and private funding? Can you share your insights on that?
Yes. So as Hong Kong is home to so many top banks, a lot of VC funds have evolved in Hong Kong. Yeah, a lot of VC funds. I have to admit, in the past, it was very easy for funds to make money in Hong Kong by investing in property or in logistics and into shipping. But now a lot of funds, local funds or international funds, whether they come from the US, yeah, or like KKR or local funds or Asian funds from Japan, they are using Hong Kong as their base to evaluate investment opportunities. And what I can share is that they are always on the lookout for investment opportunities all around the world, not only in Hong Kong or in Asia. Yeah? And they come to Europe, and they come come scouting within Europe. And so there is the possibility and the opportunity to get funding in Hong Kong. And you said because of the attractiveness of the taxation system of no capital gains, a lot of VCs are using Hong Kong as their base in Asia. So this is the private funding. And then we, from the Hong Kong government, also have funding programs now set up within our science and technology park. We start with microfunding, yeah, so for small companies, just early stage startups, to later stage, where people can use the funding of the science park to scale up. Yeah, there's the IncuBio program, there's the IncuTech program, there's programs for fintech companies in Cyberport where you can access public funding, and the best thing is it's no recourse. You don't have to, with the public funding, you don't need to dilute your equity. It's all on a grant base, so you can keep your equity and then convince VCs, private VCs, to invest in you, and you still have a very strong position within your company. And then Hong Kong government also has launched a strategic tech fund of 30 billion Hong Kong dollars, which is being co-invested with VCs in Hong Kong, and they are just a newly launched tech fund, and they are now starting to evaluating startups and scale-ups where they can put their money in. So contact us, speak to us. We will navigate you through this big, I would say, jungle of funding opportunities in Hong Kong.
And yeah, that would be basically my next question. What kind of companies are you mainly looking for, and how can Invest Hong Kong in Berlin specifically facilitate the expansion of European companies to the Asian markets, specifically to the Hong Kong market?
So we have, in Berlin, we only have a small team of colleagues, Jagoda and Gregory and Eddie, and we are more on the general side, and Gregory is on the innovation side. And we will help you liaise with our headquarters first. Our headquarters consists of more than 100 colleagues. They are all specialized in various sectors, very sector specific. If you have sector specific questions like, oh yeah, how's the regulation for gaming? How is the regulation for importation of food? How is the regulation for law firms or for fintechs? We will connect you to our colleagues in Hong Kong, most probably first via Zoom, and then we encourage you, of course, to go to Hong Kong. Yeah, go to Hong Kong, meet with our colleagues, and then I have a nice announcement to make. Maybe the next slide we can put on the screen. We have the upcoming Start Me Up Festival in Hong Kong coming up in November. You see the dates here from 8th to 17th of November. We will have the Start Me Up Festival. You can access it, pitch it. We will send you the detailed program. You can find connections in Hong Kong at the Start Me Up Festival, depending on the industry you are working in or the solution you have. Well, we will connect you to the right verticals in Hong Kong. They are not only from our colleagues, but they are sponsored by large companies, by banks, by KPMG, by funds, where you can present your ideas to the real important people in Hong Kong. And 1 week before that, we don't have a slide here, but we can give you the information. If you are in the fintech sector, you can, it will just happen 1 week before is our Hong Kong FinTech Week. And that's also an amazing event because you will get connection to the top banks in Hong Kong who are looking for solutions, looking for new digital solutions on how to solve financial, or how to have a better financial solution for the investor, for the end consumer. And if you have brilliant ideas on that, please come and showcase this during the FinTech Week if you're from that sector.
Let's do that. Turning to the audience, do you have any questions to Wing regarding Hong Kong, regarding the events that they have coming up, regarding funding opportunities, anything basically? Yes?
0% dividend tax is very easy, yeah, because we will have, so if you as a limited company pay out a dividend to your shareholders, you will be only taxed once, yeah? The profit will be taxed and the company level at 16 point, as I told you, 8.25% for the first 2 million, and then 16.5% after that. And if you pay out the dividend then to the shareholder, and it arrives at the shareholder pocket, yeah, say for instance, you are the shareholder and you pay yourself out 100,000 euros, if it lands in your personal bank account, it's taxed with 0%. That's true. It's only taxed at one level. This is different, for instance, from Germany. Yeah, different from everywhere. It's only taxed at one level. Either you tax it at the company level or at the personal level. And then the best is capital gains. There's no taxation. Yeah, and if you know of very wealthy family offices, we have a new government initiative now, just launched in, I think, in April. It's a new incentive for attracting family offices with an investment volume of 30 million US dollars, which is a definition of ultra high net worth individuals. If they come to Hong Kong, open up a family office, employ 2 people in Hong Kong, have cost of 2 million Hong Kong dollars per year, they pay 0% on the trading. 0% on trading profits. So this is why Hong Kong is one of the most attractive places for financial firms in the world.
It's indeed super unique. And maybe one last question, Ming. If anyone online, offline, interested in learning more about you, maybe engaging with you, learning more about Hong Kong, how they can approach you, what is the next step? Yeah, the next step is just visit us in our workshop at 10 o'clock or at our booth. We have a very nice booth set up by Wolf Summit in the matchmaking area. Come to us, have a chat with us. Otherwise, contact us online. Yeah, we will send you our detailed information via email, and we are also available on LinkedIn. So we are ready to support you, and the best of us is all free of charge, and you can approach us anytime, and we would love to hear more from you. Thank you very much. Sounds amazing. Thank you very much. So again, many factors are playing an important role in Hong Kong as an innovative business hub in Asia. So Wing, thank you very much for your time. Really, really appreciate your insights in this. And also thank you very much for your attention, and looking forward to engaging in further conversations with Wing and learning more about Hong Kong. Thank you very much.